Hey everyone, welcome to Live with DJ Rossstar. Today is Wednesday, January 28th, 2026, and today on the show, Geena Fontanella. If you have questions for Geena and you're watching this live, you can post them in the chat below. Before we get started, I want to let you know that this show is on every week, twice a week. I've been doing live interviews over the internet on different social media platforms for over 20 years. So if you go onto YouTube, look up DJ Rossstar. You can check out stuff I've done with Green Day, All Time Low, AFI, and a lot more. Katy Perry's up on there, Less Than Jake, The Get Up Kids, The Ataris, on and on and on. So check out DJ Rossstar on YouTube. Also, if you're enjoying the interview today, give me a follow on Instagram. You can go back on my page and watch interviews I've done over the last couple months on this platform. We got Rematch on there, Sucker Punch, Glimmers, Less Than Jake, Hit the Lights, Sugar Cult, and a whole lot more. It's now time for Geena. Waiting for her to request to go live with me, and we'll get the show started. It's going to be a big one today, so let's not waste any time. Here we go. Hey.
What up?
In the gaming chair.
I know, right? Oh my gosh. My back is so forever grateful that I changed from this chair. I had a wooden chair.
Yeah, that's what I used to have for my job.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't think at 33 years old my back can take this anymore.
Are you in fact a gamer, or you just bought the chair because it feels nice?
Well, originally I bought it because I was doing so much studio production, and so I was doing it because of that. And then but then I got into gaming, and then my problem with hobbies is every time I get a hobby, I just want to turn it into a career.
That makes
And
sense.
so, right, aka that's why I'm a musician, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so my problem is I'm like, this is supposed to be relaxing, but now I'm like, I could stream it, I could go on Twitch, like, and it turned into that instead of just being something to escape, from my job.
Now I'm
So,
distracted by what looks like ice skates behind you, or roller skates.
oh, they're Doc Martens.
Okay, so they're neither of those. They're just
Yeah, and you see Pop Pete in the corner?
bring it a little closer if you don't mind. Let's see.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a poplar. I thought it was a Furby. No, okay.
Pop Pete.
Tell me about this. I don't know who this is. Tell me everything.
Okay, so when I was in college, we had a dorm, and this guy was left on like the communal area for like days.
Okay.
And so me and all the girls on my wing were like, "Oh my gosh, like he looks like he's high." And we're like, "We should call him Pop Pete because he looks like he's high." And then for 2 years, we all passed around Pop Pete.
Okay.
And somehow when we graduated, they were like, "We feel like you love Pop Pete the most. So like you should like after we graduate, like Pop Pete is yours." And so he's been with me now for, I don't know, 15 years. He's gone on tour with me. Pop Pete has done a lot of traveling. He's done
And
a lot of traveling.
you've never once tried to break it in half and see if there's actually drugs inside of Pop Pete.
You know what? That would be interesting. That would be a plot twist. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you
We
think
might have to do that at some point, honestly.
Have you ever asked like Chat GPT what that is? If there's multiple Pop Petes, or if that's just like a homemade product?
Okay, so I didn't find this out from ChatGPT. I actually found this out through a fan.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a little under the weather, but she found out that Pop Pete has a whole family.
Okay.
Whole family. Yeah, full cousins, aunties, uncles, the whole shebang. And so she found like a bunch of them on eBay. And they're like different, I mean, for lack of a better word, different ethnicities. Like there's different ones for different things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Want to go a little bit old school? My wife has all the different talking chihuahuas from the Taco Bell commercials.
No way.
I thought they just had like one. She's got like 7, and they all have different costumes on. It's
wow.
awesome.
Like, doesn't one have like a sombrero or something like that, right?
Sure does.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Have you incorporated Pete into the merch, or maybe upcoming merch for this tour?
I haven't yet. Over the last few years, like he's been a little bit more like behind the scenes. So I don't know if like my core fans know Pop Pete, but I don't know if the new fans do, because I actually haven't toured in so long, and normally I travel with him. That I don't think my new fans actually know who Pot Pete is, but I guess they'll know
I
now.
think I was going to say, I think in a couple of days when you hit the road, they're going to find out. So
I know, right?
maybe it's time to get a last minute shirt made.
I know, right? Yeah, I probably should, or maybe I just put him in one of the merch like shirts,
That would be a cool idea, also.
you
Well,
know.
you're hitting the road for 2 weeks, and I think you're avoiding all winter and all cold weather. So really good
Doing my
plan.
best.
Whoever set this up, or if you did it yourself, really good job.
Yeah, I'm doing my best to avoid the blizzard. So
Yes.
many people were like, "Why aren't you doing Chicago? Why aren't you doing Denver?" And I'm like, "Are you out of your mind? Like, like
You're like,
that's not a thing."
I don't want to be cold. Why not?
Yeah, and also I'm born and raised Californian, so like
Oh,
I
okay.
can't handle anything below like 68 degrees. Like I'm shivering.
I agree. So I was born in New York, but then I moved to Los Angeles in 2004. And
Cool.
then after 17 years there, I moved to Nashville, and I didn't know anything about Nashville weather. I thought it was the South. So for 4 years, I got trapped in the house every winter for a week. If I was
Oh,
there now, I would be trapped with no power for 5 days.
right.
So now I'm
Dude,
in
yeah, they're
Austin.
getting hit.
Now I'm in Austin, Texas, where it snowed. It was icy for a day, and we're back to 60 degrees.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm trying to get to. My boyfriend's from Oklahoma, so
Oh
like kind
no,
of
yeah.
similar vibes there. But yeah, it's actually funny too how you can see in the ticket sales like the correlation of the fact that they got hit with a blizzard. Like over the weekend, like no ticket sales over the weekend,
Oh
like in
yeah,
those
because
places, like
they can't go
none.
anywhere.
And I'm like, they don't have any power. Their phones are
Yeah.
probably off, you know?
Let me ask you: when you go to Oklahoma to visit, is it like kind of like Reese Witherspoon in Sweet Home Alabama, where she goes back home and everything is so different than California?
Yeah, it's definitely takes me like a few days to adjust.
Few days.
I spent a lot of time in Oklahoma. So I went to college in Oklahoma. So I have a full
Oh, okay.
experience out there. And then from there, I went to Nashville and I lived in Nashville for 3 years. So like I was in the Midwest South for like 7 years.
Wow.
So, and it took me a long, long time to adjust. It really did. It was tough. I mean, it was just like people out there, if you don't fit into like a certain box, and I'm talking about years ago, like there's obviously like now like in Tulsa, like you'll see a lot more people walking around that maybe look like me. But like back then, like 15 years ago, it was like dolled up people that just want to look like Miss America. You know what I mean? And like
Sure.
I was very like I had a streak in my hair and they're like, "Who's this California city slicker?" You know, like it's very different. And it took me a while to like adjust to like the culture and how they talk to one another and like all this different stuff because they like usually they tend to be a little bit more passive and people from California tend to be in New York tend to be a little bit more aggressive, right? Like
Oh
we're
yeah.
just straight to the point. Like
Yep.
tell me what it is and what I always say what it is and what it ain't. You know what I mean? And it's not like that out there. So it took me a long time to adjust. But now we go back so frequently, it'll take me a few days. What gets me the most is how slow they are.
Driving or like with everything?
Driving, moving, talking. I mean, it is like I'm like spit it out. Hurry up. Like that is what gets me the most and like to the point where I just go, "Babe, you drive. I can't do this anymore." I'm like, oh man, it drives me insane. I'm so like this. Like my brain
Oh
is
yeah.
always on a clock.
So when you were in college, where the heck did you go to shows out there? Did you have to drive into Texas, or did they actually have some sort of scene?
You know what? Tulsa actually had a decent scene. Um, it was definitely grungy. You know, like it was at like I used to go to Sound Pony is like one. I used to go to Kane's Ballroom all the time. A lot of people come through Tulsa. Like I remember seeing an insane show at Kane's Ballroom. It was Sarah Bareilles, and it was awesome. Same, I saw Grace Potter there. It was just they actually have a decent scene. And then they like their larger theater would be, or like I said, maybe a middle. It would be like the Brady Theater. Saw Nora Jones there, like awesome. Obviously they have the Bridgestone Arena, and they're they got the top people like Katy Perry coming through and all those people. So they have a decent scene. I mean, no offense to OKC, but I think the Tulsa scene music wise is a lot cooler. Tulsa really wants to like pull up for artists. And I got a little taste of that when I did this parking garage tour last summer, and like over 100 people. I only announced the location and like where I'm doing it like a day before, 2 days before. Hours. The actual location was hours before.
That's great.
Because the police kept like shutting it down. They would show up before us and then like kick us out before we even got going. So I would like wait to the last minute to announce the location, sometimes even like less than that. And yeah, Tulsa just like was the largest one. It was insane. We had like over 100 people there, and it was just like so sick. And the police did come, and security came, and they were just really chill because everybody was chill, and they let us do the show, and it was awesome. So I think the scene out there is really cool, really grungy, really. They just love art. They really do love art. So I vibe with T-Town on that. But I did have to drive to Texas for a few shows, Austin, Dallas, for some other ones.
So the show was free in the parking lot, but did they have to pay to park there in the parking lot?
No,
Okay.
free on free. Yeah.
That's
The great thing about freaking the Midwest is like you actually can find parking that's for free.
Yeah.
Could never be LA.
No, definitely not. When I was
LA's
in LA,
like sacrifice your firstborn child
yes,
and you can park here. You're like, what in the
I used to have problems in LA. If I'd go pick up food, like if I was ordering something to go, I'd have to pay the meter, and I would be worried that it would take an extra time. So I'd pay for like 45 minutes because the food was never ready. So you got to pay if you want to get your food that you already paid for.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. It's
Terrible.
crazy. Oh
By the way,
gosh.
we are live, and I see everybody scrolling around. I am going to start paying attention if you have specific questions, or you can just say what's up and let us know where you're watching from. I've been doing this live, like I said, for over 20 years, always live. So I do want to hear from you. I'll read it out so you don't get distracted. I know it's hard to look at.
I know. I'm like trying to read through them.
Oh, yeah. But you are going on this tour, like we said, starting in California, ending in Nashville. So nice little route.
Yeah.
Did you want to keep it just to 2 weeks, or is that just how it ended up? It seems like it's not terribly long.
Yeah, I think it was a few things that played into doing a shorter run. One, this is like my first time ever headlining. So it's kind of like a little test, a little taste test on hopefully what we're going to be doing in the summer, which is a lot bigger of a run. We're hoping to do like obviously like all of America, maybe even part of, Europe and the UK.
Wow.
And so yeah, like I think it was just like a taste test to be like, can I actually sell tickets? You know what I mean? Like there's so many artists and influencers, in this day and age that like they have a huge following, but they can't convert to ticket sales.
Yeah.
And so, I think my agent was kind of like, let's just do a test and see how it goes. And then if this goes really well, we'll do a bigger thing. And so, yeah, so that was one plan. The other plan is I actually go out on tour with the Rock Orchestra. And so I'll be on tour with them from the end of February. I think it's like February 28th or something like that, all the way through May. So it was really my only chance to do it before the summer.
You got things going on.
Yeah.
You're busy.
I try to stay busy. What do they say about idle hands? That's me.
Yeah.
I just can't. I get fidgety.
Also a great movie, if you've ever seen Idle Hands.
Yes, totally.
Actually, that's a good segue. So I love horror movies. I love scary things. I was looking through your YouTube, and I found your Queen Mary video. Now, I did stay on the Queen Mary also a few years ago for my birthday. I didn't see a single ghost or feel any spirits. But you seem to have like a whole event, which is awesome to watch.
So I went with my girl Kelsey. Kelsey that is her thing. That's her world. She is a supernatural, I joke with her and call her spooky influencer. So that, like, she goes into some of the most haunted, tragic places in the world and shoots videos for them. Yeah. And so I brought her along because I know nothing about the spooky world. And in fact, I avoid the spooky world. That's not, I'm like weirdly a scaredy cat when it comes to things like that. I don't like dark. I'm very, I tend to be, especially when it comes to like horror movies or movies that tend to be really graphic. I don't know if it's my memory is so good or like what it is, but like it sticks with me. It stays with me. It doesn't leave me. And those images will stay in my brain rent free.
Sounds absolutely terrible.
Yeah. And so most people I know that can watch like scary stuff, I'll be like, yeah, like, remember that one scene? And they're like, what? I don't even remember that. Like, they just like can watch it and just like move on. And it just sticks with me. So anyways, so I bring her along because I'm like, she's going to know what's what. Well, long story short, she's got all these devices. She's got all the stuff to like
I
check
saw
when
it.
the
It's so cool.
frequencies, yeah, and you can tell by the frequencies um like certain colors are higher frequencies. So when there is something that's coming across your area that's more intense, more of like a purplish blue will be going off rather than like a red and a green.
Okay.
So anyways, we're like there. Then she's got these headphones on that like the app can kind of like pick up frequencies that our natural ears can't hear.
Yeah.
And so she will, it's called the Estes method or something like that. And you put these headphones on and so you can hear clearly the frequencies that are being picked up. It's like an app on your phone that can pick up lower frequencies. And so when she hears something come through, like that's like clear, like an actual word or something, she will say it out. Well, she's over there doing the Estes method, and we're in room B340, which is like, they claim it's like the most haunted room in the world, and everybody wants to claim that, but like
Yeah, you
whatever.
gotta pay. You gotta reserve that in advance.
Yes, way in advance, like 6 months in advance or something like
Yep.
that. So we bump into the people that had that room for the night, and they end up being friends, or not friends. They end up knowing Kelsey. They're big fans of Kelsey.
That's
So they're
amazing.
like, "We have room B340. Do you guys want to come check it out?" And I'm like, "Oh hell, oh god."
You agree to
I'm like,
go. You gotta do the whole thing.
and then mind you, we're at the witching hour. It's like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. So this is like the time, according to her, like this is the time where like ghosts are coming out and about, right? And we
Yeah.
had already had crazy experiences like earlier in the night. It was like midnight. And we hear like on her little phone app thing, she saw like something, she's like she can kind of like see shadows and stuff like that. So she saw something in the hallway and she was like, "Did you see that?" And I was like, "No, I didn't see that." And she was like, "There was a man like in the hallway." And I go, "What?" And so then she starts asking it questions like, "Hey, we saw you in the hallway. Like, what's your name?" And then the app is like, "Mark," like
What?
through the app.
It speaks.
Yeah, it
Oh
like
man.
it picks up frequencies that we can't hear. So if something comes in clearly, it will
Huh.
come in through the app. Like sometimes it's just like it sounds muffled or like it's not coming in clear, and then she'll say like, "Hey, you need to speak clearly," and then
What's
and
it,
then
what's this app
next
called?
thing is like clear as day.
What is the app called?
I can't remember. I'll have to ask her and send it to you. A box or something like that.
Yeah,
Like it's
I'm
something.
gonna start walking around Austin and seeing if anything's haunted.
Yeah, it was crazy. So like, first right off the jump, I mean, we're not even a minute into this. And this ghost is like, "My name's Mark." And you're like, "What the frick?"
What?
So now fast forward, we're like 4 hours into this, right? We've had some experiences over by the pool where like a bunch of people died in the pool.
Oh yeah,
So
I've
we had a
seen the
bunch
pool before. It's huge.
Yeah, we had a bunch of experiences with that, like near that where like all the pods that were picking up frequencies were going off. So now we end up in room B340 and she's got these headphones on. And so we're like, the things that have happened in room B340 is like one of the guys, there was a prisoner that they were transporting from like, I don't know, like England from America or some transatlantic kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the guy is like banging like, "Let me out, let me out, let me out." And the prisoner that was guarding the door just thought like he was trying to play a trick on him, right? Well, the next morning when they opened the door, he was like dismembered, and he
Ugh.
was all of his body parts had been like cut and just in all over the room, blood
Love it.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know how we got on this. I have never been asked this in an interview, but it is a pretty crazy story.
I
But
warned you. I warned you that my music show usually has nothing to do with music. So
that's amazing. I love it.
it's the Hang Time show.
So that's one experience. Another experience is that a guy and his family were staying in there, and he decided to murder his whole family in the room,
Yeah. Why
murder
not?
everybody, and he strangled everybody, the wife, his kids, everyone, which is really sad, but crazy, right? So now we're in this room. Pods are going off. I mean, the whole time it's like whoa, 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 the whole time, and I'm like, "What the frick?" Like whatever. Then we got these like little things that are they provide things for the room too because they want to make it an experience. So like
Yeah.
you have this like little bell. So like if a frequency comes in, the bell will be like ding. So mind you, like the freaking pods are going whoa 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 whoa, and it's like ding whoa 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 ding. And I'm like, what is going on in here? Like this is wild. And then she's got these headphones on, and the other people we were with are asking the ghosts in the room questions, right?
Yep.
And then she's through the headphones because you can hear the Vox box thing like better with the headphones, if it's like really barely coming in,
Oh yeah.
whatever. So she's like saying things like get out, choke,
Wow.
like you're gonna die, like just I mean
Lovely.
crazy things. And so the guy that the people that were staying in that room, they're ghost hunters too, so they're like, absolutely no, you don't have any hold on us, and they're like, talk clapping back to the ghost. And I'm like,
What
you
are
know
you doing this
what?
whole time?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm good. I
Yeah.
don't need,
You didn't like scary movies.
yeah, I'm like,
Now you're living it.
I'm about to start saying Jesus' name in this hoe right now. I'm like, where's my Bible at? You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? Like, I'm about to start, like, whatever. And then next thing I know, I like earlier when we first got in there, kind of felt like my neck was like really tight. And I was like, oh, that's weird. But like, we've been up all night. We've been whatever. Well, then after all of that goes down, I had said in the room, like, yeah, my neck feels like kind of tight. I don't know what that's about. Next thing you know, you see this red mark
Yep. That's
on
in the
my
video.
neck.
That's in the video.
Yeah, and you see this red mark on my neck, and we watched the footage back, and there was no like me fidgeting. There was no like maybe I was scratching,
No
like
allergies.
nothing. It was pretty wild.
Okay.
It took me like 3 days to just like decompress.
By the way, I feel like I should have started this question by letting people know. They probably don't know what we're talking about. The Queen Mary is a ship that used to go from Europe to America, and now it is just docked in Long Beach, California, and it's a hotel, so you can go and stay there, or you can just go for the day and have lunch or dinner, or just look at the water. I should have said that at first. Feel like,
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
I
Who's
know.
the Queen
What a
Mary?
Queen Mary. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like, what?
I want to watch your friends' videos. You gotta send me the link after this.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. She's insane. She's really huge in the space, and she goes to some pretty insane things. I mean, even her whole like TikTok and Instagram page is like all spooky content, like she's got these creepy dolls at her house that are like, I don't know, like haunted or whatever it's
Oh
called.
yeah.
So I tell her all the time, I'm like, because I can't handle dark stuff. So I tell her all the time, I joke, I was like, look, I love and support you, but like, I got to scroll past your videos sometimes because they're too dark for me to watch.
There is a place here in San Antonio, only an hour from Austin, and it's the Haunted Doll Museum. And it's 2 levels, and they gave me the little device, and it starts beeping when you find a presence, and they have the bells, like you mentioned, that go off when there's a spirit in the room. And
Hmm.
yeah, that's right there in San Antonio. So when you roll through here in 2 weeks, got some free time, you
I
have to check out the
know.
Haunted Doll Museum.
Oh gosh, I don't
Your
know.
friend's probably been there, unless she hasn't tried the Texas Haunts yet.
Honestly, probably the dolls that she owns are probably in there. I
And
wouldn't be
this is not a haunted
surprised.
attraction for Halloween. This is just there all year round, and the people that work there that own it really believe it. 100% serious when I was in there talking to me.
Oof. Yeah, it's a lot. It was yeah, that video was me doing it was like 100 fears in 24 hours or something like that. I mean, it
100
was
fears. How many did you find? 100?
yeah. I mean, we're talking about everything from people are afraid of holes to, and like funny ones, like they're afraid of long words. And so then you say the
Okay.
longest word, you know what I mean? So it was like conquering 100 fears in 100 fears in 24 hours. So, people are scared of spiders, they're scared of bugs, they're scared
Oh
of
yeah.
lizards, like everything, snakes, like whatever. So I did all of these fears, and then like obviously the main one was like people are scared of ghosts, they're scared of dying, they're scared of like all these things. And so the Queen Mary, they do like a haunted walkthrough during Halloween that
Yep.
like they take over their whole parking lot and they set up all these haunted rooms that you can walk through, and they're really long. They're like some of like the longest ones in California, I think. Like some are like 20 minutes long, 30 minutes long for you to walk through them.
Oh yeah.
And they have like 5 different ones. And so yeah, so anyways, I did all of that. earlier in the day, like, you know, I don't know, I think we got there like 7 p.m., 8 p.m. or something like
Was
that.
it still light out?
Yeah, right. And then we walked through all of that. No, it was dark. It was already dark, but
Okay.
we walked through all of that. And then that night we had a room at the Queen Mary. And so then, like, after being hours at the
What a
Queen
day.
Mary, I was like, you know, it's like 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning when we finished. And I look at my boyfriend and I go, you know, do you just want to drive home? Or are we spending the night in this hotel? And he's like, let's just drive home. And we
Oh,
drove home.
you didn't stay in 340B, huh? Okay.
Oh no, that was like an absolute no. We were talking. We just got like another room because B340 was already booked up, obviously by the people that we bumped into, right?
Oh,
So,
there you
but
go.
they were like, "You could stay here," and I was like, "Hell no, I'm not staying here."
All right, let's take some questions. I feel bad. I just really wanted to know that because I love watching strange YouTube videos, and that
Yeah,
one just stuck out to me when I was going through your collection. I'm like, this is kind of different.
yeah. I'll have to send you Kelsey's stuff. She's awesome. Kelsey Davies is her TikTok. She's amazing.
I don't know. I wouldn't jump out of a plane. That's probably one of my biggest fears.
I've
Skydiving.
done it. Actually, that's not that scary.
I did the indoor skydiving, which is like the wussy way to do it, and
Hmm.
that was hard enough for me.
I shot a music video. I've gone skydiving 4 times.
Wow.
I shot a music video of me singing my song while skydiving.
I don't
So
think
I
anyone's done that
jumped
before.
out of a plane and literally sang my song all the way down. And that was the music video, was me skydiving.
I think Guinness needs to come give you a record for that. No
Yeah.
one's done that before.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Let's see. Any questions? Send them now. I'm finally looking. People are just going crazy from all over the world tuning in, which I really appreciate. We're having fun just hanging out. Yeah, like I told you, it depends on the artist, but you seem like a fun person to talk to. So wherever the conversation takes us, we go to. And
Yeah, amazing.
That's my favorite kinds of conversations.
Oh, same. It makes it way more interesting than any other interview for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh, my
I
friend
see
Ken.
people. I
Yeah.
see people in here that are like, oh, is it? Oh yeah, like people talking about Austin, Texas, obviously because that's where you're at now, right?
Yeah, you can tell me your favorite fears also, people watching. Like, what are y'all afraid of? I know
Yes.
there's this video I see all the time on the internet of like it's like a certain frog that gives birth out of its back. And there's like people are afraid of, I forgot what the phobia is called, but like I guess holes in your body and things coming
Oh
out of
yeah,
the
yeah.
holes.
That's tryptophobia or tryptophobia or something like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, I got one. What's your zodiac sign? Says IZTANGA.
I am a Cancer.
Me
Cancer.
too. Me too.
Yep. What's your birthday?
June 21st.
Oh, okay. So you're the early side.
Yeah,
I'm like right in the middle. I'm July 9th.
I thought I was a Gemini my whole life because TV Guide in the horoscope section told me that, but
Yeah.
my wife has assured me I am in fact a Cancer.
Yeah. Are you a cusper?
I am the cusp, but she
Yeah.
says I'm more of a Cancer personality. I don't ask questions. I just say, okay.
Yeah.
We
We're
got
also we're supposed to be crazy loyal.
yeah,
I know
that
nothing
is
about
true.
signs, by
That
the
is
way.
true.
I know nothing.
Okay, well, I am loyal. You probably are too, so.
Yeah.
We got someone's afraid of cockroaches. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, not my favorite. I touched a cockroach in the video. That was one of the fears.
There was a
Never
haunted
forget.
attraction. They probably still have it in Orange County, California, called the 17th Door. And one of the rooms, they turn on the lights, and you're surrounded by cockroaches, and they'll put them on your face too in the dark, and then you turn on the light, and you see that it was rubbed on you. Really
Oh!
disturbing. See, that's the best part. The only thing I miss about living in California were there was like 15 haunted attractions every year to go to, and
Wow.
you're not into that kind of thing, so you're missing
No.
out.
Hard pass
Yeah.
for me.
But
Like
Texas
even when
is-
friends of mine
yeah.
ask, I'm like, no, I'm not. I'll see you at the end. I'll see you. Let's go grab dinner at the end.
It was fun here. It was my first Halloween here. We did like a hayride in the woods with people popping out at you. That was also super fun.
Yeah, for real.
Keep it going. So on this
going.
tour, how many songs will you play now that you finally have your own show?
Oh wow. You know what? I actually haven't counted. Let's count it out and see how many shows. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
19 shows.
No, 19 songs.
19 songs? That's a lot of songs. Wow.
Yeah. But you got to remember, like pop punk is like every song's like 2:30.
How many songs do you have released in total? More than 19?
I probably have Yeah, it's gotta be up there. I mean, I think only 5 of the songs are songs that aren't released.
Okay.
So 14 of them, are released, and I have more music than the 14 that I picked for the show.
Awesome.
But one of the cool things that we're doing is, I have this big blow up dice, inflatable dice,
Okay.
and every night we're gonna have a fan roll it, or fans roll it, and whatever number it lands on is actually the song that we're gonna do.
I love that.
And so we have like all of these like songs from like the early 2000s, like late 90s. Like some of them are like, just like pop songs, but we made a punk version of them. Some of
Give me,
them are
give me,
like
give me some.
like
Give me some.
A Thousand Miles by Vanessa Carlton. We made a
Good one.
punk version of A Thousand Miles by Vanessa Carlton. Sick.
I don't
It's
think I've
like
ever heard a punk version of that.
it
Ever.
is so freaking sick. I don't know why nobody's hasn't turned that song into a pop punk song. It is meant to be pop punk. It is so dope. We're
Give me a
also
second one.
doing, yeah, we're also doing like my own worst enemy by Lit.
Okay.
You know what I
Good
mean?
one.
Like, so it's just a good combination of songs that like songs that are like already alternative or rock or pop punk or whatever, and we're gonna do those. Then there's ones that aren't pop punk that we made pop punk.
Okay.
And then we have some like ones, like some modern ones, like I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but we're gonna do like Die on This Hill by Sienna
Okay.
Spiro, and we did a punk version of that song, which is gonna be
Oh,
great.
okay.
But it all depends on what the dice lands on. In theory, like if my hope would be is that we roll it and we get a different one every night. But also my hope would be is that we don't land on one number, and every night we're like, we have not landed on 6. Roll a 6, and then everybody's like 6, 6, 6, and then it like either does or it doesn't. If it does, everybody's like yeah, and then if it does, everybody's like dang it, like whatever.
I love this
That would
idea.
be the fun part about it.
It was like 10 plus years ago, Less Than Jake did something similar. They had like a giant wheel,
Yes.
like The Price is Right. And I actually got
Yep.
called on stage to spin the wheel, and then whatever song it landed on was the one they played. So,
That's amazing. Yeah, so many people do the wheel. Like I think Sabrina Carpenter has done the wheel. I've seen some other artists do the wheel too. It just makes it fun, you know what I mean? And it keeps you on your toes as a performer. Like my history as a performer is playing at restaurants for like 5 hours and
okay.
getting request songs all night long.
Yeah.
And some of these songs I have never done before, but you're like, okay, like I kind of know the song, or like let me listen to it really quick, you know what I mean? And winging it. And sometimes you crush it and sometimes you don't, right? But it's fun as a performer. It really, if you're a person right now that's like a singer or something, and you want to get your chops as a performer, start playing at restaurants, like 5 hour gigs at Mastro's like I did, and you'll start being like, oh, like I gotta be with it. I
Oh
gotta
yeah.
be with it, like witty, like I gotta like say funny stuff and be able to engage with the audience. But then at the same time, I gotta be able to, like, if somebody requests a song and I've never heard it before, I gotta get it together in under 30 seconds.
Yep.
You know? So it's really fun. I used to do that at the shows too. When I opened for people, I would let the audience pick a random song. And then I'd be like, okay, like, and hopefully I knew the song, and then I would play it. So it's really fun.
When you lived in Nashville, you didn't do the Broadway thing where you played 4 hour gigs on the Strip?
You know what's so funny is I didn't do the 4 hour thing. I played on Broadway one time,
Okay.
but it was an actual like lineup gig, and I didn't do the Broadway thing. I was touring so much during that time that I was always like gone
Yeah,
out
you
of
got to commit.
Nashville.
You got to commit to that like a couple
Yeah,
days a week.
yeah, you do. Yeah. So I was gone like 9 months out of the year. And so I never got into the Broadway scene. Obviously I had like one show. I think it was at Tin Roof on Broadway, which was great. But yeah, I mean that same thing is exactly what I did. Like when I took a step back from touring and started working in studios more, I was like, shoot, I still need to make money. Like, how do I do this? Because touring was my full income at the time. And obviously I just was getting into, not just getting into songwriting. I was a songwriter for a long time, but I was going all in on songwriting. And that's a much different financial shift,
Yeah.
especially with songwriting doesn't make that much money. So it's all a numbers game. And so anyways, I was like, dang, how do I keep like my income up, And so I got involved with a company called SBP. I think it's like Stephen Byers production or something like that. And they did all these Mastro gigs at all these fancy restaurants, steakhouses, and you would come in with a trio, but you wouldn't know like who's playing with you that night. But like we're all talented musicians. We all
Yeah.
like, we understand theory. We can like play whatever. And so every night, or like 3 or 4 times a night, I would play these gigs with like random people in the company. And we would do a trio and we would just be like, what song are you playing next? And they're like, I'm playing this song. You're like, great, I already know the chords. I play that song a bunch, or I don't know the chords and I'll pick it up as we're going along, and whatever, and it just got you really good at being on your feet and being on your toes.
And Kevin from Scotland wanted to know, what if you've never heard the song that they're requesting?
Yeah, so if I never heard the song, what I typically would do is I would be like, yes, let me try to get it together, but I will get it together over the break. So
Hmm.
usually I'll get like a 10-15 minute break, and that whole time I will be listening to that song, like, and usually, you know, once you hear the chorus once, if the words are in front of you, because a lot of times, you got to have the words in front of you. It's not like I'm memorizing all the lyrics. So
Yeah.
I've got like something in front of me that is at least giving me like the words. And then usually guitar wise, it's like most songs are just 4 chords the whole time. They're not really that complicated. They're pretty easy. And so as long as I have the lyrics in front of me, it's pretty easy from there. Like once I hear the melody once, or if it's like a really weird melody, there's some songs that are like really weird, like a lot of jazz songs have like a lot of alternate roots. But like also people want to hear your rendition of it.
Yeah.
So if you don't fully know it, that's fine. Do your own little thing. Like, and that's what I'm talking about being on your toes. Like you're coming up to the next line in the song and you're like, I do not remember how that melody goes. And you're like, okay, let me sing my own version of what I think that melody would be. You know?
Is there one that you did that comes to mind that you just hoped after was never requested again?
Oh, that's a good question.
Maybe you pulled it off, but you're like, okay, one and done. That's it.
Oh, I gotta really think about that. I've
Yeah.
never been asked that before. That's such a good
That's
question.
why I'm here.
I know. There's one recently that I was like, ugh. It's actually, I didn't like it because I didn't sing it as well as I knew how to sing it.
Okay.
And so I was like, dang, like if I ever do that song again, I gotta really get that one
Well, we
in.
got to
And
know
it was
what was the song. We got to know.
it was With or Without You by U2.
Oh, okay.
I was like, some of these verses are sung in such a not the same way
Yeah.
that I was like, oh, I missed that. I missed that one. You know what I mean? And I sang like the majority of the song like fine, and everybody was like, with or without you, like people
That's
were
the
just
only
losing
part
it.
that people really know anyway.
That's all they know.
Yeah, you could have made up the verses and they wouldn't know the difference.
Oh man, but the person that requested it though was a huge YouTube fan, so you knew
Oh,
they knew.
okay, so they really knew.
They knew that I was not singing it the way that he was singing it.
You
You
should have let
know?
them come up and have a duet then if you knew it so
Right,
well, right?
exactly. No, they're like, we can't sing, which I'm like, great.
Couple more minutes, then I'll let you go. Let's collect some more questions. Thanks for hanging out with me for a long time, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm having a blast.
By the way, let me throw in really quick before we get some final questions. I am on every week, twice a week. I've been doing this for over 20 years on different internet platforms. So you can jump onto YouTube, look up DJ Rossstar, and you'll find videos I've done with AFI, Green Day, Katy Perry, Boys Like Girls is up on there, We the Kings, All American Rejects, on and on. Or you can follow me on here and see the interviews I've been doing the last couple months on Instagram Live. We've got Get Up Kids on there, Ataris, Sugarcoat, Less Than Jake, Hit the Lights, a whole lot more. That's all I'm going to do. Spam you guys and tell you that, and follow me now so you can keep updated.
DJ Rossstar.
Thank you. Let's see. What is your favorite song of your own? What a hard question. That's from Emily Claire.
Oof, Emily's got good questions. That she knows. Ooh, I would have to say, I'd have to say One Trick Pony right now. I just dropped One Trick Pony about a week ago. Sorry, brain fart.
Oh, the video is a couple days.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, in a couple days it'll be a week, and for what I'm just so shocked that I mean the streaming on that one is doing so well that I'm like, dang, like
Yeah.
it just makes me excited. It makes me excited when people like really vibe with a song, obviously. But that song, I wrote a long time ago, and I've had it for a really long time, and knew that it was going to be something that I released to like set the tone of the type of music that I'm going to be releasing, and the like, not new vibes, but like matured vibes of
Sure.
what I've been doing, and it's so millennial and so takes a snapshot of like how I grew up and how I grew up in Cali.
Yeah.
Like, it mentions like grape cigarillos and like red lines, and like red lines like an energy drink that was out in Cali. I mean, I'm sure it was out in more places, but like, you never know where it was until people are like, oh my God, no, it was in Wisconsin too. And like, you know what I mean? You find out stuff like that, which has been cool too, because people are like, no, it was here. And I'm like, oh my God, what? Like, I never knew. But it was, yeah, it's such a snapshot of like my childhood, and then at the same time, like how I still have never changed.
Which is,
And I'm
and
still on that
you don't
vibe and
have
that
to.
energy.
Who wants to change, right?
Yeah, it's funny. I see all these videos all the time of people talking about how like you started emo and then you went through a phase where you like lost yourself and you were like,
Yeah.
why was I dressing like that and like dressing so weird? And then you end up going back to being emo, and that was like, my thing. And it's interesting too, like being emo and then growing up in like a super Christian household as
Oh
well.
wow.
Like
Okay.
that was a different vibe. Like
Yeah.
people a lot of times, I mean, a lot of times I'll rage bait them, so like I'm a little bit of a troll, but I'll do these videos where it's like sing the emo song or get slapped by a duck, and a lot of times I'll rage bait people and be like, oh, I didn't know it but I knew it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, or like, whatever, because obviously that gets views, you guys, like, come on, like, you gotta get them.
You've mastered this, how to do this, yeah,
Yeah,
the
but
right way.
there has been times where there's songs on there that I genuinely do not know. And so many people will come at me and be like calling me a poser, like, how could you not know this? Like, you're not emo, da da da. I'm like, you guys, I grew up in a Christian household. Screamo was out of the question.
Yeah.
Like, that was a no. Like, it was not happening. My mom would be like, what in the devil's music is that? Like, it was not a thing. So like my younger sister, they were a little bit more lenient with her. And so like she listened to some of that. But like even then it was like hidden, we would try to hide it if we heard it, you know what I mean? So like a lot of screamo bands I'm actually like just getting into now.
And that's cool too.
Because yeah, it's like rediscovering like a whole aspect and like culture that like I missed out on because that's just not how I grew up, you
Yeah.
know? So it's cool.
And there were so many bands back then that it was hard to listen to every single one. So I do
Yeah.
the same thing now. I find myself going back and checking out ones that I knew of, or maybe I even interviewed them, but I didn't listen to them regularly. And
Yeah.
I'm finding out all these great albums. And then, of course, all these new artists that I'm talking to as well that have brought it back. Because for a couple of years, actually, there were no new pop punk bands. That wasn't a thing.
No.
I
No,
ran,
like, and I think we're
yeah,
coming back with a vengeance, honestly. Like it's more and more people are starting to do it, and I I think the younger generation is starting to get into it, but I also think there's a slight push from millennials that are like, "Yo, we are tired of all of this stuff that you're pushing on us all the
yeah,
time. And I think I talked about this in an interview recently where, when there's a lot of turmoil going on, like globally, or like even like use America, like there's a lot of like whatever side you're on, there's a lot of arguments and just a lot of animosity towards
yeah,
each other. And what I try to always tell people is like, you guys, like, we have the same goal. Like most people have the same goal. They want to do right by people. They want equality. They want to make money for their family. They want to be able to provide for their family. They don't want prices to be astronomical. Like our goals are typically the same. It's just our approaches are different to how do we accomplish that goal, right?
yes,
And like when you're coming from an approach of that, I think that's where you can start really having these conversations with people. But because there's so much animosity and so much like going on right now, that's where punk thrives.
yep,
Pop punk thrives in being like, that's effing wrong. I don't care what you say. Like, and it's fostering this thing of like conversations, but also fostering this thing of like, there's so many ways to do this. There's so many
yes,
ways to do this. And like nobody is 100% right. And you shouldn't be hanging out with everybody that believes the same things that you believe. That's an echo chamber. And I don't know how many times I got to say that to people, but like People do not want to be feel like they're talking to somebody that doesn't believe everything that they believe, which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody in your friend group believes everything that you believe. They may not tell you that they don't agree with you, but they know, like, oh, I'm not bringing up that topic.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it's ridiculous to live in a world where you expect people to believe everything, to check every box. That's not how great relationships happen. Great relationships happen over long periods of time, and people grow and morph and have different experiences that change their views on things. But long story short, it's like, that's why pop punk is coming back. It's like, everybody shut up. I don't want to hear how you feel about this and that. Just let's listen to some music. Let's go to a show. Let's freaking headbang. Have a good time.
Yeah.
Like, show that your neighbor is, even though if they believe something different than you, they're still cool. They're still, like, meet them. Have a conversation with them. They're a good person. They just believe something different than you. You know what I mean?
I love that. Hey, let's end there because that's a good positive message.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Have fun on tour. I'll probably be seeing you in 2 weeks with Further North. So I'm excited.
Yes, let's go. You guys, I'm going to be playing in Texas. I'm playing Dallas, Austin, Houston. Everybody go get their tickets. I know people are like snowed in and stuff, but go get your tickets. We're also like Sacramento and LA is right around the corner. And so is Phoenix. So everybody go get their tickets. The link is, in my bio. Thank you so much for having me on. This was literally such a blast.
Thanks for letting me talk about weird things. It's my favorite
Oh, I
thing to do.
freaking loved it. I was living for it.
Hey, thank you all for watching. I hope you follow me and watch more because I'm on every week. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.